All right, hello everyone. My name is Timothy Lee Grant, and today we are going to continue the project, which is trying to develop and understand those skills which are important for becoming a back-end software engineer. So, where we left off last time was we were unable to get the data that we got from the web page. So the web page did a post request to us, which is the server, and we were trying to take that data and save it to a database. Okay, but we were unable to actually save it to a database. And we tried to, in the last video, we tried to figure out why this was the case, and I wasn't able to figure it out. So that was like a week ago, maybe. And so, yeah, now today we are going to be starting again, kind of looking at it fresh. Although I can't quite remember where what I was doing or where I was in that project. I did get a comment kind of telling me how I might be able to solve this problem. So we are going to first kind of understand where we are and try to figure out uh, where I was in the project because I kind of forgot. And then after we get that, we'll go read the comment and try to figure out, okay, well, why are we getting this error? Why are we unable to save data to the database? So yeah, let's minimize myself here and actually start looking at the code. All right. Okay, so, and as you might be able to tell, today it's going to be kind of a low energy day. I mean, I'm feeling pretty tired, but that's fine. Low energy is okay, just as long as we keep moving forward. That's the important part. You can have low energy, but just keep taking a step forward. I didn't want to make this video today. I wanted to sleep. Just to be completely honest, I just wanted to sleep. But I was like, I know I have to do it. I can't be lazy, right? Move forward. But yeah, my bed was tempting. All right, so let's. Okay, I'm gonna just run my server and try to recreate where we were and from that. Okay, so I can do this brew services start, which is going to enable my MongoDB. We're going to get something up here telling us, hey, like this is working on the hardware. So it's doing its thing. Now I can do server. So there we go. There's that little message. Okay, so now MongoDB is listening. I now need to run the server, so node mon server.js. Okay. So now I need to send a request. All right, so I need to send a request over to the endpoint that loads the page that has the post request to then send data to my save data. Okay, I mean, this is maybe that's one of my other problems is that I need to possibly look into a service like Postman or something like that, so I can just send the requests that way, and maybe that will kind of be a nice debugging platform instead of trying to load this web page and this web page is associated with that like post endpoint and trying to keep all this in my head. So I'm already like trying to. I think this is the one that was giving me all the problems, and then this one is. Oh, man. Okay, so I think it was this people. So it was people and then people routes. And submit. No, this is the post. Okay, so this is the HTML file that I need to load to send the fetch or the post request to that endpoint. Okay. People company address.ejs. Where is that? Here. So I need to go to submit entity. Okay. Submit entity. Okay, cool. So we have this. Now, let's just recreate the error. Name, Timothy Grant. Age is, oh, it's almost my birthday. I'm not happy about. I'm getting too old. But anyways, that's my age. Company is, there we go. So, submit, close here. All right, so we get this, and this is one of the problems right there. And again, there was a comment, right? And they were explaining why this is happening. But I'm just trying to remember like where I was and what's going on. Okay, so let's go back to that. Loads this right here. So submit people, and I do this request body and then request dot body. Okay, so that was one problem, and then when I try to save it, it doesn't actually save. That was another problem. So we have two problems right now. Like this should give me, like I'm wanting it to give me the JSON data, right? Like whatever, like person name, age, company, and then that information, but it's not. It's just object. That's one problem. Second problem is it's not actually saving anything to the database. And then thirdly, what's the third problem? I think there was a third problem, but I can't. Yeah, I don't see a third problem right now, but maybe there is. So let's try. Okay. There's the database. We don't need that. Users. I don't think we need this. This is the one that I'm looking for. So people, routes. Okay, and people. So this is kind of the schema here. So this is schema. This is the actual saving to the database. This is the page that sends the post request. Okay, so I kind of have the state of this project in my head again. All right. Yeah, so people A. Okay. And this one is kind of weird because what I was trying to do is figure out how to connect, like, if I have two tables, this is MongoDB, so it's not tables, it's like collections, I think it was called. If I have two collections, okay, how do I say, oh, this element in this collection is linked to this element in a different collection? Like, how do I do that linking? I was trying to learn how to do that right here, but maybe I bit off more than I can chew. All right, let's try to do one thing at a time. Okay. So video comments. All right, so here's the comment about what's going on in in the last video that I made that I was trying to troubleshoot this exact problem. Okay, and then I wasn't able to get it. So thank you, Dragon Blade, for the comment. And let's read through it, try to understand what's going on, try to fix our problems, and yes. All right. Okay, so you have one knowledge problem, JSON printing, and one technical code problem, saving to the database. Okay, so 2 problems. All right. So for JSON, you do get a JSON. You are just printing it wrong. Okay, that's interesting. Technically, JSON and a JavaScript object are not the same thing. Okay, so I didn't know that. I thought that JSON just meant JavaScript object. I thought that they literally were the same thing. So, okay, that is which Copilot is for. This is, yeah, this is my project, Copilot 1. So question number 1. What is the difference between JSON object and JSON? Or no, JavaScript object, right? That's what it was called? JavaScript object and JSON. Okay, so that's question number 1. Okay, let's see what else we will get. It's not the same thing. It's just as, or it just has the same structure. Okay, cool. So you can convert between, okay, so they're different things, but you can convert between them. So how do I convert between these 2? Okay. Awesome. What you tried to do was take the request body, okay, string, and concatenate the JavaScript object and print it, which is wrong because JavaScript doesn't know automatically what you want, know automatically that you want a JSON. Okay, so it just converts it to the fastest thing, object. There's 2 proper ways of printing. Instead of using the plus sign, use a comma to pass the object as the second parameter for the log method, or JSON stringify the object before concatenating it. Okay, so let's try both methods, right? And then try to understand, okay, well, how does each method individually solve that problem? Okay, so let's go like this, and then, so this is the one that was causing us to, this is like wrong right there. Okay, they said okay, so apparently I don't really understand, or I don't know. Okay, I don't know how to interesting. I don't know the difference between like what I just did there. I'm gonna have to yeah, that's another thing that I'm gonna be investigating. So let me just submit this again, or maybe I need to refresh it. I'm not even gonna do, I'm just gonna, oh, I need an H there. Okay, submit person. Okay, and look at that, we got it. Wow. Okay, so that is question number 3. Okay, so this is a question on like how the console log even works. How is JavaScript console log working? Because remember when we started this project, I don't really know JavaScript, right? Like, I know Python and I know C, and yeah, those are my two like main languages, Python and C. I did a little bit of C++ when I was like, that was my intro to computer science, right? Like the long in the electrical engineering degree, you have to do like intro to computer science 1 and 2, and that was in C++. And then later in your like higher classes, you do like operating systems, which is in C, and then a lot of the other, like, let's see, embedded systems is more like assembly. That was assembly, not C. But then I took some machine learning classes, which was in Python, right? And so, yeah, I have Python and C are my main go-to languages. But I've never touched JavaScript before. So, okay, console log. How is that? How is that working? Okay. Um, in in specific, what is the difference between these two lines? Here, and paste that, and then get rid of my comment. Okay. All right. Cool. So we fixed that problem by doing it this way. Let's try the second way and see what we can learn from it. Because we're not trying just to solve the question. We want to we want to understand. Let's see. Correct way. All right, so now let's do, I believe he was saying do a plus, and then what would it be like? Do I need to import that JSON.stringify, or what was it up here, right? We needed to import I don't see it. There was something. I remember doing here, express.json. Do I need to do that, or can I just do like not quite sure actually. How do I change this to a JSON? Is it JSON or like JavaScript object? Which one am I trying to do? Okay, so read that comment again. Video comments. So now so it just converts to the fastest thing it knows here. There are two proper ways of printing it. Instead of using the plus sign, use a comma to pass the object as the second parameter for the log method, or JSON stringify the object before concatenating it. So JSON stringify, how do I do that? JSON stringify. Okay. How do I perform a JSON stringify on an object? What occurs during this operation? Okay, let's we wrote a lot there, so let's try to investigate it. All right. Okay. All right, JavaScript object versus JSON. So JavaScript object is a native data structure in JavaScript. used to store keyed collections of various data types. It can contain functions, symbols, or anything else. Okay, so a JSON, a JavaScript object. This is native to JavaScript, and it just stores those key value relations. Okay, so JSON is a string representation of data meant for transmission and storage. Okay, it is a subset of JavaScript object, which is this one, syntax, but with strict rules. No functions or undefined. Okay, keys and string values must be double quoted. Okay, only supports basic types, string, number, boolean, arrays, and other JSON objects. Okay. All right, so here's JSON string. All right, so this one says that it must have these double quotes in the JSON. Here's JSON. Okay, so it has those double quotes. And notice the entire thing is like a string. Okay. This one is an actual object. Okay. So this one is a string representation of data. Okay, so JSON is a string, and JavaScript object is an actual object. Okay. So now I can convert between them, okay, because they have good formats between, like, to be able to convert between them. Like if I wanted to take this JSON object and turn it into a JavaScript object, if I wanted to turn this JavaScript object into a JSON, I can just like essentially put double quotes, or not double quotes, it would just be like a single quote here and here, and then bam, it's a string now, and that string can be sent through transmission. So JSON is for transmission, okay? So that's why I would need to do a conversion, which also makes sense. Okay. Okay, converting between JavaScript object and JSON. So right here, JSON.stringify. So I'm trying to figure out which one is which, because stringify indicates I'm turning it into a string, right? So that means that it's going to be this one, right? Which is a JSON. So this is turning it into a JSON. Yes, it is, right there, turning into a JSON. Okay, cool. So this JSON.stringify turns it into a JSON, which is a string for transmissions. Okay, converting a JSON to an object is JSON.parse. Okay, so stringify turns it into a string, which is a JSON. Parse turns it into an object, which is a JavaScript object. Okay. So now, I guess my question is, which one do I want here? Because it should be... Okay, let me just try it. JSON dot... I'm going to say parse. Parse kind of just makes logical sense to me. Okay? And then put that in there. Because request body, I'm guessing that this is... Okay. Going to be like a string, right? Because it was just transmission. I just received the body, and it was a transmission. So I should parse it. And now I can I have this plus, which was the wrong way to do it, okay, but we're going to see if this changes it, okay. So now I'm going to come here, I'm going to come here, I'm going to reload this, I'm going to say my name is like that, my age is like that, and my company is that, okay. Ooh, it did not like that. Ooh, maybe, oh, well, I got the wrong one. So it's not parse, it is stringify, which is kind of what the comment said, but it makes me think like, okay, well, I still have a misunderstanding in what I'm doing. Okay, well, I got that. Okay, so, all right. Cool. So now we need to understand what's going on. So what did I just print? So why did it work this time? Should we keep reading the answers? Yeah. And then we'll go back and... Okay, so console.log request body. This attempts to coerce the request body to a string, often resulting in object, yes. Okay. So console.log here, this passes request body as a separate argument. So the console is smart enough to print the full object structure. So apparently the body when you say this implies that the request.body is an actual object. Is this correct? Oh, I guess it would be correct. We're printing object, so it is an object. But it was just in transmission. Okay, so I guess I might be a little confused because the request is itself a transmission, and you said, come on, that, which one? It was JSON is a transmission string. Okay. Oh, I didn't mean to press enter quite yet. Let's go read it, and then we still need to look at number 4. Okay. Okay, so you're right to highlight the difference between raw transmission and parsed object that ends up in request body. Okay, so what request really is. When a request comes into your Express server, it's indeed a network transmission, yes. Often with a body that's just a string, okay? So initially, it's just text data sent over HTTP. Okay, yep, that's what I'm imagining is just text sent over HTTP. Okay, how that becomes request.body. That's where middleware like express.json comes in. When you use this, which is what we saw, okay, things are... So I wrote this a long time ago, right? And I kind of didn't know exactly what I was doing. I just thought I was enabling JSON, whatever that meant, right? Like I didn't really know what it was meaning at that time. I thought maybe, okay, well, it just means that I'm allowed to create a JSON object. I have no idea, right? Like, okay, but now I guess we'll figure out like what this is actually doing. All right, so here, app.use, express.json. So we get we get text coming in to our server. And that text is HTTP, right? Um, or sent over HTTP. Now, this app.use, Express intercepts the raw incoming data stream. So Express takes that string, that big long string, reads the JSON string, okay, and parses it into a JavaScript object. Okay, so it does take the JSON, right, which is a string, was sent over a transmission, okay, and then Express parses it into that JavaScript object. Okay. After that, request.body holds an actual JavaScript object, not a JSON string anymore. Okay, well there's where we're kind of having a problem. Or we're having a problem, now we have a understanding. Okay, so when you do console.log and then request, or you say like, okay, whatever, and then comma, so this is the important part, comma, request body, and now I'm not looking right now, I'm trying to say it to myself so that I can understand it. What did I just say request body was? Request body is the actual JavaScript object, because it was parsed by Express. The request body was parsed by Express and created a JavaScript object from the HTTP string data that was transmitted to me, which was JSON. Right? Yeah. Okay, so request.body is a JavaScript object. Okay. So when I do this, you're printing a real JavaScript object. Okay, which also is why when we did it this way here, notice it's like a string here, just like request body. It's the same text. Now, it did a whole bunch of stuff up here, but notice the color was different. Where'd it go? Okay, well, I don't see the... Here it was, see? Now, when we did it the other way, that is, which way? That's this way. When I did printing the request.body, like this, with the comma, we got this response, which is, notice how it has person name and then the text which is associated with the name. Other thing to notice, there's a single quote here, which it said for JSON, which is the transmission one, you have to have double quotes. But this one has single quotes, which indicates that also that this is an actual object, right? So when I printed it this way with the comma, it took this data here, it took this, and it said, oh, this is an object. It's just an object. I'm going to print this. And we see that it's an actual object instead of down here, when we printed JSON.stringify, we took that object, turned it into a string, and then got this right here. So this should be JSON instead of a JavaScript object. Okay. All right, well, let's keep reading. Okay, that's why the object's properties display properly instead of being collapsed into object object. Okay, so when I was doing the plus, it was just like printing the easiest thing to render, I think. So client sends raw JSON. Yep, the string here, the double quotes. Middleware parses it and makes it an actual object here. Okay, request body becomes this parsed object. So this is request body, which is an object. Console log now displays its structure as long as you pass it as a separate argument. Awesome. Okay. We needed to come up here to 4. We were at 4. Okay, so this method serializes a JavaScript object into JSON. So it just takes an object and turns it into a JSON string. During this process, it ignores undefined functions and symbols. Dates are converted into ISO strings. Circular references throw an error. You can parse a replacer function or arrow to customize what you get instead, or what gets included. Okay, whatever. It just this function just takes a object and turns it into a string, which is a JSON. Okay, cool. So we solved question number 1. Problem number 1. Let's go and look at problem number 2. Okay. No more water. All right. But we learned a lot with this part. Like now I understand significantly more about JSON and JavaScript objects. I completely thought that they were the exact same thing. Just, okay. Very good to know. Very, very good to know. All right. So for saving to database. All right. So that's my second problem. You should focus on understanding how MongoDB and its schemas work. Okay. Because you defined a schema for people, but when you are trying to save, you are sending a different structure. Okay, so my structure is wrong of the schema. Okay. So here's the schema. I'm going to get rid of this people. I don't want it anymore. I'm not going to play with you anymore. Okay, so I have people name, people age, right? And I don't want to do this company anymore. Okay, so I'm going to have the same thing just without the company. I'm going to try to get rid of that. So I have this. And now let's also look at this in light of our new understanding of JSON. Okay, so this is a post request. This is what we're sending here, right? This is this page. And this is when I press the submit person. I'm going to be sending a post request, and I'm grabbing this data, and now I'm not grabbing this data though anymore. So I'm grabbing these two things, right? And I'm putting that in the body of the post request that I'm sending to this endpoint. And what is the body? It is a string, a JavaScript or JSON this is just the function or the library. And what am I doing? I'm stringifying it. So stringify means I'm turning it into a JSON, not an object, a JSON. So it's a string, and it's going to have or contain like this right here. So I'm taking this here and turning it to a string so I can transmit it. Then my middleware is going to take that string. It's going to turn it into an object. Okay. Okay. So person name, person age. Does that match people? Oh, people name, people age. Okay. So maybe I need to do like person name, person age. Okay. I don't know if this is actually gonna do anything. Let's come here, and before we send a response, let's try to. Oh, we can just do the same thing, but go to all people here, maybe. So can I get rid of this? All people? Yeah, this is all people. So let me refresh that, and yeah, we have a whole bunch of nonsense here. Okay, so I'm gonna come here like this. Age is like that. Okay, submit. Request body is here. Okay. Now I want to see, did it actually save? Because now I changed the fields in people. Come on, come on, come on. Hey, here we go. So person name, person age, right? So this needed to match person name, person age, what I was sending. Okay, so we need to digest that. I fixed the problem by doing what? I fixed the problem by making the JSON string that I was sending over in my post request match the names in the schema of my database. Okay. Then Express took that, turned it into an object with the same name and then value. Okay. But the name is the same as the fields in my schema. Okay. And then what did I do? Came up here. So I have this. Oh, what's going on here? Oh, okay. That's because I see. Okay. So then I came here and I did what? I got a new person. Okay. And I took people, which is from my schema. Okay. Export default. So this is like I passed the two parameters into this. I'm going to call this a constructor. I don't know if that's actually the right word for it, but it's a constructor to me, at least for now. And then I got back an object, okay, and then I saved that to the database. Okay, that. Then, now, here's this, here's this, here's that. Awesome. So I was able to successfully retrieve that, or see that I actually saved that piece of data. Okay, well, that was a very productive, uh, what was that, like an hour? So it was a very productive hour. I was able to clear out some major misunderstandings which I had about this topic. And I feel like this is definitely going to help me move forward more confidently because now I'm able to avoid those pitfalls that I didn't even know were there. So I'm very glad about this. And the next steps are going to be I'm of two minds. Should I try to figure out how to actually grab that data, work with it from the database? So that can be one. I know that I need to be able to grab data from it. I need to be able to do other requests like whatever, put, patch or something like this, delete, all of those. I need to be able to manipulate the database in that way. It's one thing that I could do. Other way that I could go is first do Postman, get Postman up and running so that I don't need to fiddle around with all of these pages to send the post request. I think it would be much better, much cleaner. So I like that. Or what I think I'm actually going to do is first I am going to learn how to use Swagger. And now, if you're thinking, hold on, that doesn't make very much, like, where did that come from? Right? Like, as I said, the purpose of this project is to learn all of those important topics in back-end software engineering. Swagger obviously is one of those important topics. But why now? That's what you might be thinking. I have a reason though. Because actually, so my work is embedded systems. That's what I do for work, right? But all of a sudden, now I actually do need to use Swagger in one of my projects. And so and I don't know how to use it. So it's like, okay, well, actually that kind of goes with my project that I'm doing here. So I'm thinking, all right, let's maybe take a slight little detour, try to integrate Swagger into this project because I was going to do it anyways. I just thought that I was going to do it way out in the future. But let's just bring it up here, do Swagger, try to understand that, try to figure out how to use it, and then later go back and then do Postman, and then do the database manipulation. So I think that's kind of the roadmap that I'm going to be traversing in the near future, meaning either, I haven't decided, maybe in 20 minutes or maybe in tomorrow. Probably, I don't know. But either in 20 minutes or tomorrow, that is the video that I'm going to be doing next. So thank you for watching this video. I am very glad that we had this wonderful opportunity to move forward and understand some very core concepts to back-end software engineering. And once again, thank you so much to Dragon Blade was the... Yep, Dragon Blade. So thank you hold on, let me give it a... Thank you so much to Dragon Blade for this amazing comment. It helped me out tremendously. Like, thank you. So I will see all of you very soon. And have a wonderful rest of the day.